everybody, JC here with another TNINews video. And today I'm doing kind of a special video. I thought it'd be kind of cool and kind of compile a list of all the information we know about Marvel Legends for 2018. So this list is going to include information that has been 100% confirmed by Hasbro, as well as stuff that is rumored, though I have a pretty good feel that these are actually going to happen. So I can't 100% say they're happening, but again, I have from pretty good reliable sources that this stuff is happening. And then a few things where I've heard, I don't really know 100% one way or the other, but seems likely enough that I'm going to talk about here. Now, there are a few rumors that have been floating around that I'm not even going to mention just because I just don't have a good handle on it at all. So if there's something you've heard that I don't mention in this video, it doesn't mean it's not necessarily happening. It just means I haven't gotten a good enough confirmation in any way at all to be worth talking about in this particular video. Okay, so for the first thing I wanted to talk about was new Spider-Man figures, the first wave of 2018 for Spider-Man. So this is a wave that had already been announced by Hasbro, but is actually started to show up overseas, I believe in the Philippines. So we've got some new in-hand images for the figure. So we've got package images for the entire wave, and then we've got some nice detailed images of the Mysterio figure as well as the Gwenpool figure. So just to recap, that wave includes Gwenpool, Mysterio, Spider-Woman, Spider-Punk, Spider-Man Noir, Gwenpool, Prowler, and Lasher. And then, of course, the Build-A-Figure for that is going to be the Lizard. Now, these, as I mentioned, are starting to show up overseas at specialty shops in the Philippines. I have done some checking, and I don't think we're going to start actually seeing this wave here in the United States until early March, maybe late February at mass retail, but I wouldn't expect to see these go up for pre-order at e-tailers and stuff until around early March. So it looks like even though they are already hitting shelves overseas, it's still going to be a little while before we actually see them released here in the United States. Now, that's not 100% confirmed, and again, these can vary. Again, we could see them at mass retail at one point and then at e-tailers at another point. Obviously, we're already seeing them overseas, so you know, like I said, take these release dates with a grain of salt, but from the checking I've done, I don't expect to see that wave here in the United States until basically late February or early March. Okay, so we got, like I said, we got some detailed images of the Mysterio figure and the Gwenpool figure, and I mostly want to focus on the Mysterio figure because these new images that we got, and these images come from Mr. Santos, who provided these to us. He's on Instagram, so you can follow him there. I'll put a link to his video description. The package images that I'm showing here, they come courtesy of Fly Guy. He's also on Instagram, so I'll put links to both of their pages in the video description. But the Mysterio figure, this is our first look at the actual head sculpt for the Mysterio figure without the bowl on his head. So the bowl is removable, and that was reported at the conventions. Dwight told me that he was going to leave the head sculpt as a surprise. So this is kind of spoilers. If you don't want it surprised, you know, if you don't want it ruined, then fast forward a couple seconds. But this is a look at the actual head sculpt of the figure underneath the bowl of the Marvel Legend version. And I think it looks pretty cool with the skull, and it looks like a snake coming out of it with the translucent plastic and everything. I think they've done a pretty good job with that. Okay, now as far as another thing I wanted to touch upon. So somebody had brought this up to me that about a year ago, actually, we posted a rumored list for this wave on marvelousnews.com. Now, the entire list that we posted turned out to be accurate. The only difference is that it looks like the Lasher figure, we originally had reported there was going to be a Demo Goblin figure as opposed to Lasher. And it turns out we're getting Lasher in the wave and not Demo Goblin. Now, I don't think that that initial list was necessarily wrong. I think it was more likely that something just changed. I don't know if a Demo Goblin is still going to be released at some point. It's a possibility since it looks like they were planning on doing him at some point for this wave. So now there's rumors of a second wave already. There's definitely going to be a second wave, and there are rumors, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment, that have just come to light for the second wave of Spider-Man figures. And Demo Goblin is not part of that rumored list. But again, I would not be surprised if at some point we don't see a Demo Goblin figure released. Okay, so I'm going to jump to Avengers, and this is, I touched upon this last week in last week's news video. So this wave is going to include the classic Taskmaster, the King Cobra, and the Songbird figures. Those are the figures that are confirmed 100% for the first wave of Avenger figures. And again, this is looking like a release of early March. We're going to start seeing this released in early March, maybe late February, but more likely early March for this wave. So the Spider-Man wave and this first Avengers wave are probably going to be hitting shelves here in the United States very close to one another. Overseas, it might be more spread apart since we're already seeing the Spider-Man wave, but here in the United States, I would expect both of these two waves to see released very close together. Now, the figures that I'm about 98% sure are going to be included in this wave that have not been officially confirmed by Hasbro are the Proxima Midnight, which I still don't know if that's a comic book based or movie based figure, and then movie figures of Captain America, Iron Man, Iron Spider-Man, and then I still have no real indication of what the Build-A-Figure is. My best guess continues to be a Marvel Cinematic Universe Thanos, but again, that's completely a guess on my part. We have had no firm information on what the Build-A-Figure for the first Avengers wave will be. Now, we also know that there is a second wave of Avengers figures being released this year because Hasbro at the London Comic Con last year announced that the Black Knight figure would be part of that wave, that second wave. So again, we definitely know that there is a second wave of Avengers coming. And again, we only figure we know for that wave at this point is the new Black Knight figure, which is said to come with an alternate head sculpt featuring Nathan Garrett, which will obviously be out towards the later part of the year. And I would suspect we'll have a number of movie figures in it. Now, one thing while we're on the subject of movie figures that I've heard from multiple sources is that we are definitely going to be seeing a lot of movie figures this year, and not necessarily just from the movies coming out this year. So nothing, I have no specific characters confirmed in any way about that. Okay, moving on. So Deadpool, I also touched upon this last week. So this wave, we know all the figures 100% confirmed except for one, which is the X-Force Deadpool. That is 98% likely going to happen. I'm guessing is going to be just a reissue of the HasCon exclusive, maybe with some slight paint variations. But that seems to be the figure that's going to round out the Deadpool wave. And just to recap, the other figures in that wave are going to include the 90s Deadpool, the 90s Cable, Domino, Deathlock, X-23 also wearing her X-Force outfit, Paladin, and then the Build-A-Figure for that wave is going to be the Sasquatch. We're also getting an X-Men wave this year. Oh, and just to for the release date on the Deadpool wave, that one is looking likely is going to be at the end of March or early April. So that one is going to be later. We should see the Spider-Man and Avengers waves based on the information I'm getting before we see the Deadpool wave. Okay, now for X-Men, the first X-Men wave. Now this one we know 100% confirmed is the new Tiger Stripe Wolverine figure, the 80s Storm with Mohawk, the Psylocke figure, the Gladiator, and Multiple Man. And then the Build-A-Figure for this wave, which is also confirmed, is Apocalypse. Now, two figures that are rumored and almost likely going to be also included in this wave are a new Magneto figure and a new Sabretooth figure. And this comes from, these briefly showed up on Amazon.com, these listings. They've been removed since they initially showed up, but they were listed with the rest of these figures. So good bet that that's going to be the final two figures that round out the X-Men wave. Now, I don't have a release date on that one. I suspect it'll be after Deadpool, so probably May time, but again, I don't really have any kind of firm release date on that second X-Men wave. We've got the Riders figures, so we know definitely that there's going to be Ghost Rider and Black Widow, and those are due out in the spring of 2018, so probably that April time frame. And also there's a rumored third figure, which seems likely is going to be a Professor Xavier in a hover chair. Now, again, that is rumor. We're going to keep that one definitely in the rumor package. But from everything I've been told, it looks like it's going to be Xavier in a hover chair. Okay, and then we've got a number of store exclusives. So starting with Walgreens, we've got Mr. Fantastic, which is definitely coming, and a Thing figure, which is definitely coming. And there's also been rumors that showed up in computers for Super Scroll. So that one, Hasbro's definitely said Thing is coming. We don't know exactly when, but Thing is definitely coming. and obviously Mr. Fantastic, Hasbro's 100% confirmed. And then based on store listings in the Walgreens computer, it looks like we might also see a Super figure this year. For Walmart, we know there's the Thanos repaint, the Build-A-Figure Thanos figure, which is going to be a Walmart exclusive. That's been 100% confirmed. I don't have a release date on that. I'm guessing probably late spring, early summer. And then the Black Panther Hero figure, which is 100% confirmed because it's already out overseas. And maybe even, I've seen a few reports, maybe if people already finding them at Walmart stores. It is a Walmart exclusive. So that Black Panther Hero figure with the purple paint on the figure and such, I did a review of it the other week. So that figure is definitely coming to Walmart. And then there's the 2018 Marvel Unlimited subscription service Tony Stark figure. This is basically the rose body mold or the chameleon body mold with a Tony Stark head on it. That's going to be the subscription service exclusive figure this year. Okay, so other things that are rumored are 2-packs. So these are likely, I've got, pretty good confirmed from multiple sources. So we've got Thor, Groot, and Rocket Raccoon. It's basically Thor and Groot and Groot comes with a Rocket figure. I think this is going to be an Infinity War set, but I don't have that 100% confirmed. So, but definitely a 2-pack with Thor and Groot with the Rocket. And then also Scarlet Witch and Vision. Again, I'm guessing this is going to be movie versions, but again, not 100% confirmed. Also, I don't know yet if these are going to be Toys R Us exclusives or if these are going to see general release. Definitely they should show up at Toys R Us, but I, again, don't know if they're actually exclusive to Toys R Us. And then the final one is the Scott Lang and Casey Lang 2-pack, which I'm guessing is going to be comic book based. That's the weirdest of the three. But again, I have it on pretty good word that those are going to be 3 2-packs that we're going to see this year. Not that we're not going to see other 2-packs, but those 3 should definitely be coming this year. Okay, and then the final thing, as I mentioned before, that I wanted to touch upon is this new rumor about the second wave of Spider-Man Marvel Legends. So the rumor as it goes right now is a new Doc Ock figure, which is actually we're seeing a listing of it on Amazon, as well as Elektra, which I'm guessing is a comic book based Elektra. And again, both of these figures are actually currently being listed, no images or anything, but they are currently showing up on Amazon.com. I'm sure they'll be pulled soon, but they are currently up there. And then other figures that are rumored for this wave are Cloak and Dagger, 2 different figures, and then Kane, a House of M Spider-Man, and a Shadowland Daredevil. Now, I don't, again, have those all confirmed, but that is what the latest rumor of that wave is going to be. And again, the Doc Ock and the Elektra figure are being currently listed on Amazon.com. Now, the Build-A-Figure, which is a strange one, is coming from the listing. If you look at the product description on Amazon for the Elektra figure, it says the Build-A-Figure piece is going to be what's called SP//DR. And I actually had to research this because I hadn't heard of this before, but apparently it's some kind of weird Spider-Man armor that showed up in the Edge of Spider-Verse storyline at some point. And so if this description that's on this Amazon listing is accurate, that looks like would be the Build-A-Figure for this wave. No release date or any idea. Again, that'll probably be after Comic-Con that we see in July that we would see that wave. Basically the Avengers Wave 2 and the Spider-Man Wave 2 and possibly a Black Panther Wave 2 we would see towards the end of the year. And I've only heard minor rumblings about a second wave of Black Panther, so again, that I would take with a total grain of salt. Okay, so that wraps it up. I definitely love to hear your guys' thoughts. What are you excited about? What are you looking forward to in 2018? Please let me know in the comments section below. Also, please like this video if you're so inclined and hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it if you haven't already. You can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, guys, I will catch you later.